the break feeble owls in modern football society. Maybe you remember being mugged of the Ballon d'Or, not for a pig, but because of the pandemic. Football's biggest individual award was cancelled in 2020 by COVID, and Robert Lewandowski was denied what many thought was his rightful due, a golden sculpture. But the street will never forget. As we know, Lewandowski wasn't just one of the most deadly strikers of his fellow contemporaries, but a phenomenon. Furthermore, let's explore the momentary of prime Robert Lewandowski, speculating about his childhood and adolescence. Lewandowski was born on August 21, 1988, in Warsaw, Poland. As a child, he developed football passion playing football for the streets of Warsaw. It may, therefore, be hedged with some uncertainty in its early course, but not fluid like a river. As a teenager, he faced a major setback. Legia Warsaw is freeing them because they are not strong enough. Most people would not survive such dismissal. However, Lewandowski, who never lacked determination, saw that disappointment as a springboard. Kemp was able to graduate from the youth team to senior football in 2006, signing a contract with Znicz Pruszko, a chance that introduced him to professional football. By the 2007-08 season, he had announced himself as a talent to watch, scoring 21 goals in 34 matches, the first sign of his prodigious talent. The move to Dortmund. Louis meets Klopp. In just under 2 years, Lewandowski's outstanding performances in Poland could not be overlooked. He relocated to the German top flight, the Bundesliga, in 2010 after signing with Borussia Dortmund. Here, with Liverpool, managed by the charming Jurgen Klopp, the potential striker grew into the full-fledged Lewandowski. Its first year was mediocre. 8 goals in 33 league games were not a lot. But Klopp identified the talent in him and took Lewandowski, who transformed into a high-press, high-intensity player, suiting the Dortmund's heavy-metal football format. His performances, to be frank, were nothing sort of sensational. In the next 3 seasons combined, Lewandowski netted a staggering 94 goals in 144 appearances and guided the Dortmund through to the Champions League quarter-finals and into 2 consecutive Bundesliga championships in 2010-2011 and 2011-2012, challenging and dethroning Bayern Munich's Champions League journey. His best season at Dortmund was the 2012-13 season. He guided them to an incredible stage of the Champions League that they conceded to the final to Bayern Munich. But one night in particular ensured his place in history, even in the semifinals against one of the hardest non-parallel defending teams in the world. Real Madrid Lewandowski helped himself to 4 goals. This prompted most football fans and analysts to label Lewandowski a big match player. The move to Bayern Munich. By the year 2014, Lewandowski demanded for bigger team, and he joined the Bayern Munich on a free transfer. The partnership between Lewandowski and Bayern Munich was the best foretellen between a striker and his team, especially given the fact that Bayern Munich was constructed as a powerful machine. At Bayern, Lewandowski reached new heights, scoring goals at an unprecedented rate, Bundesliga record breaker. During the 2015-16 season, he scored 5 goals in 9 minutes against Wolfsburg. That record may never be broken. The season of 5 titles, 2019-20. Lewandowski played a pivotal role in the historic quintuple that the Bavarians achieved. He managed to get 55 goals in 47 games, with 15 goals in the channel in front of the goal. Increased physical power. Given his towering stature of 6'1", Lewandowski proved a difficult figure to handle when it came to aerial attempts. Useful work ethic. Lewandowski was a good exponent of high-voltage pressing systems. His legacy can be summarized as follows. Lewandowski's journey from his war. Lewandowski has scored more than 600 career goals and holds numerous records and still cannot be awarded the Ballon d'Or. Regardless, Lewandowski remains one of the greatest strikers in football history. The streets will never forget his peak, a time when he made defenders look helpless and goalkeepers question their careers. But how talented was the prime Robert Lewandowski? C. Journey of an icon to a new team and conversion of a striker. From a time for finding the back of the net, the Guardiola era, higher ground. The latter was greatly captained by Pep Guardiola and saw Lewandowski's game climbing to a whole new level. Drawing out part of himself that even Lewandowski may not have realized, Guardiola managed to seize even more characteristics of his playing style at City. Lewandowski became not just a scorer, but a focal point of Bayern's attacking brilliance. Among the countless highlights of his career, one performance stands out as legendary. It has been largely coming from the last attack, the 1509-15 against Wolfsburg. Lewandowski didn't just win this match, he dominated them. In only 9 minutes, the player scored 5 goals to secure his victory and equalizing legend football records. For only 9 minutes and 39 seconds, Lewandowski made history trusting football legends. Fans still speak of that performance in awe, and it remains one of the most iconic individual displays in the sport's history. The Treble, individual fantasticity versus team performance. While individual fantastics is well and good, football is about scoring goals and winning games. During the season 2019-20, the player was instrumental to Bayern Munich's journey to a treble, which featured Bundesliga, DFB Pokal, and Champions League. They brought in Lewandowski, who ended the season as the highest goal scorer with 55 goals in 47 matches, an effort that would be impossible to fault. He was not only burying oppositions from lower divisions, he was putting the goals against the biggest teams, against the best, on the biggest stage possible. Cup final matches. It was a beautiful marriage of individual achievement and collective achievement. This was the season where Lewandowski's dominance was undisputed, cementing his place as one of the greatest strikers in football history, rewriting history. To think the 2019-20 season was already the definitive year of Lewandowski, the subsequent season was even more explosive. He set his sights on a record that had stood for decades, the Bundesliga single-season goal record held by Gerd Müller. Until recently, Müller's record was barrier that stated for the German legend was almost impossible to break, which many brilliant strikers had failed to accomplish. However, Lewandowski, with his never-giving-up attitude and deadly instinct, chased it down. He scored his 41th goal in the last match of the 2020-21 season, thus surpassing Müller. It was a historic moment, cementing Lewandowski's status as one of the most prolific scorers of all time. Controversy and resilience. The Ballon d'Or controversies. Despite all this, Lewandowski became a focal point for controversy when it comes to football's highest accolade for an individual, the Ballon d'Or. The award was not presented in 2020 because of the COVID-19 outbreak, which robbed Lewandowski of the accolade, which the majority thought he undoubtedly earned. He was equally named the second-best footballer in 2021 to Lionel Messi, an award that triggered controversy across the football fraternity. Lewandowski did not allow such setbacks to demoralize him. Instead, he kept doing what he does best, achieving goals at a very fast pace and charting his teams to victory. How unique is Lewandowski? What makes Lewandowski one of the most vicious attacks in football history? It's not magic. It's a combination of incredible technical skill, physical attributes, and an unparalleled work ethic. Finishing. Lewandowski is a clinical striker who can use everything starting from his feet, his head, to even other limbs if that is allowed. From thunderous strikes to delicate chips, his range of finishes is astounding. Movement. He is a pure genius when it comes to off-the-ball movement. He finds space in the most crowded penalty areas, often leaving defenders bewildered. Physicality. Lewandowski stands at 6'1" tall and perfect combination of height, power, and speed. His aerial ability is unmatched, and his pace and power make him a nightmare for defenders. Fitness regime. A man who takes fitness very seriously is the one behind the M&F body. His training for strength, agility, as well as endurance for the game keeps him on a high profile well into his early 30s, legacy of a legend. Robert Lewandowski, now a legend, has risen from Poland to become a record holder in goal scoring. He scored more than 600 goals in his career, hundreds of trophies, and outstanding performances. Unarguable matter how many times he became the Ballon d'Or winner. The numbers, the records, and the memories tell the story. Despite Lewandowski wearing all-black Puma boots throughout while scoring fantastic goals, he was more than just the best of his generation, but some of the all-time great strikers. Robert Lewandowski, a goal-scoring legend. When it comes to football's greatest strikers,